This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather and Connie Chung.
Good evening. The death toll in Japan has passed 4,000 and it's still rising. By now, it's Friday morning in Kobe, 3 days since the earthquake struck. A few more survivors were pulled from the rubble in the last 24 hours, but now hope is fading for the missing. And those who did live through the quake are desperate for help. Correspondent Bob Simon is on the disaster scene.
The city of Kobe was hardest hit by the quake, but this isn't Kobe, it is the road to Kobe, 10 miles out of town. The cold, cruel sun shone today inside homes which looked like dolls' houses now. Suburbanites transformed into scavengers, searching for what was left of their lives. And there they were, serenaded by sirens, meeting disaster the Japanese way, with unflinching politeness. I was here when it happened. I was hit in the face. My son's in the hospital. Thank you. Thank you for coming. The sides of the road were clogged with Japan's new homeless, many of them walking wounded, walking out of town, walking where? Very few seem to know. The men wrapped in orange aren't Buddhist monks, they're among the new refugees, just trying to keep warm. There's a man showing his wounds, speaking of his wife, who cannot help him because she is dead. Ambulances heading towards Kobe were often paralyzed by gridlock, and this was the only way into town, because this is the railroad and this is the freeway.
When Los Angeles loses a freeway like this, many Californians speak of hitting the road going to another state. For the Japanese, there's no place to move to. No place is safe.
In Kobe, the fires ignited by the quake were all out by this morning. There were 90 new ones by midday. The firemen ran from putting out blazes to digging for the dead. They were still pulling them out today. The list of the missing grows shorter. The death toll keeps rising. Every excavation brings a new onslaught of grief. But this old woman was alive after 2 days under the rubble. Everything collapsed on her, the fireman says. Her legs were crushed. She says her husband is still inside. Can you feel your legs? Yes. Do they hurt? Yes. Then an old man runs up. It is her husband. He was rescued on Tuesday, ran away from the hospital, came back here. Now, she doesn't recognize him. Don't you know me, he says? I've been shouting your name all day and all night. Yes, she recognizes him finally. Then she is taken away. The earthquake which shattered the homes and the lives of these people didn't lay a finger on the depth of their dignity, their determination. The Japanese are strong, says the man in the rubble. We will rebuild. Bob Simon, CBS News, Kobe.
More than 250,000 Japanese are still homeless in the winter cold. 100,000 homes have no electricity and nearly 1 million have no gas. Tonight, beneath their traditional stoicism, many Japanese feel they've had to wait too long for help. James Hattori has a report.
2 days after Japan's quake disaster, 7,000 fresh troops arrived in Kobe amid criticism that government relief efforts are moving too slowly. As Japan struggles to cope with its worst earthquake in 70 years, there is smoldering resentment that officials are doing too little, too late. The fire department isn't coming, she says. Where are they? My house is burning. Complaining in public is not a common Japanese trait. This is a society that prizes self-reliance. That may have been why an official in neighboring Osaka went so far as to imply that quake refugees were lazy, expecting others to do things for them. Prime Minister Tomiichi Murayama, who toured the quake zone today, assured residents the government would do everything it could to speed up the relief. In fact, supplies are arriving in convoys, though there are reports that in some areas food and water is so scarce it has to be rationed. That even applies to shelters, some of which have run low on basic supplies, forcing some refugees to hop from place to place looking for what they need to survive. I don't think it's enough, this man says, but under the circumstances, I shouldn't say anything. All the criticism, on top of all the devastation you can see behind me on the streets of Kobe, seems to be hitting home on this Friday morning. A top official now says that it may be time to do some soul searching. Dan?
James Hattori, thanks. The toll in Japan is now the highest there since the Tokyo earthquake of 1923 that killed more than 100,000 people. Some of history's deadliest quakes have happened in the last 20 years. The worst was in 1976 when an 8-point tremor destroyed the Chinese city of Tangshan. Up to 800,000 Chinese died. Also in 1976, a quake killed 23,000 in Guatemala. In 1990, at least 50,000 died in Iran. By way of comparison, 61 people died in last year's California quake. Today, a rural part of Colombia was rocked by a strong earthquake. At least one person was killed.
Day 16 of the Republican Revolution, and its leader comes under heavy fire from the opposition. That story is next. Also tonight, the extraordinary tale of twins born in different years.
Ah, the joys of a minivan. That big sliding door, the heavy removable third seat, and those rear windows that don't roll down. Oh, what could be better? Introducing Odyssey. With 4 doors and an easy fold-away rear seat. It's not just a minivan, it's a Honda.
When I get a cold, I need a strong medication. My husband's a doctor and can give me anything, but he recommends Dimetap Extend tabs. Dimetap controls my sneezing and nasal congestion. It's strong medicine.
For colds, doctors recommend Dimetap.
If you're a woman and you get heartburn, listen.
A dose of Mylanta regular strength has this much neutralizing power. Regular Maalox this much. But Tums Ultra has more neutralizing power.
And Tums has calcium, something your body needs anyway.
Ultra.
On Capitol Hill, most of the talk and the action centered again today around House Speaker Newt Gingrich. But as for the Republican legislative agenda, it was all talk and no action. CBS News Chief Washington correspondent Bob Schieffer has the latest on the new Congress's first 100 days. Today, Gingrich, a gripe, and gridlock.
No one will have any advantage. So let me finish. Would you let me finish? Would you let me finish?
Getting a little testy? Small wonder, just 3 weeks old, the Republican revolution is in a mess, and the Speaker thinks Democrats want to destroy him.
A strategy based on the personal destruction of somebody is pretty amazing if it's a genuine strategy, not looking at issues, not looking at facts, but having...
Whatever it is,
Mr. Speaker,
it's brought things to a virtual halt. Another round of partisan sniping broke out over the book deal Gingrich signed with media baron Rupert Murdoch's company, just as Murdoch arrived for a meeting saying everything's fine.
I've got nothing to hide at all.
But that controversy overshadowed a more serious Republican problem. Support is collapsing for their version of the balanced budget amendment, a top priority.
I think it meant a few things, and I believe...
And they're doing no better in the Senate.
That the American people would like to see us get our job done.
Led by Byrd of West Virginia, Democrats have tied the place in such procedural knots it's being called birdlock.
I'm not concerned about a contract with America. Here's my contract, the Constitution of the United States.
All but pleading for mercy, Republicans admitted Democrats had just stolen a page from their book.
And I've learned a lot about delay. In fact, we taught a course in it last 2 years. We got A's, got good grades. We stopped a lot of things.
So after a fast first step, the Republican revolution is stuck in the starting gate. They'll get some of it done eventually, but it's going to be a lot harder and take longer than they thought. Bob Schieffer, CBS News at the Capitol.
House Banking Committee Chairman Jim Leach politely but firmly informed President Clinton today that unless criticism of Gingrich stops, Mr. Clinton may not get his $40 billion loan guarantee bailout bill for Mexico. Another big battle is shaping up tonight in Congress over anti-crime legislation. If this sounds familiar, there's a good reason. It is. Correspondent Linda Douglas reports.
Only months after Congress passed the most sweeping anti-crime legislation in history, Republicans are preparing to tear it apart and start over. Under law and order Republican style, the bulk of the money, $13 billion, would go toward new prisons.
We badly need to send the message, when you do the crime, you do the time.
Republicans argue crime fighting should focus on punishment, not prevention. Their crime bill would eliminate dozens of prevention programs, such as drug treatment, those aimed at combating violence against women, and after-school programs.
It wipes out the prevention programs that will keep millions of kids from ever picking up their first gun or ever using their first drug or joining their first gang.
There's been this growing emphasis on the prevention side and rehabilitation, and the American people are crying out by saying, what happened to victims' rights?
The crime bill signed by President Clinton last year also provides money to put 100,000 new cops on the street. But Republicans want to cut those funds and give the states a lump sum to spend as they wish. Democrats warn there would be no way to guarantee the money would go for more police.
Is it going for police officers, or is it going for a radio or for some fancy piece of equipment that's going to sit on the shelf?
Congressional Democrats are urging President Clinton to veto any crime bill that rolls back funding for cops on the street. White House officials say the president will fight hard, accusing Republicans of sacrificing public safety for the sake of a political victory. Linda Douglas, CBS News, Washington.
For his part, President Clinton started off the second half of his four-year term by having his top people talk up his record for the first half. More on that now from White House correspondent Rita Braver.
Complaining that President Clinton has not received enough credit for his accomplishments, the White House has taken to staging events that ballyhoo
the champion of hardworking Americans, the President of the United States.
In today's exercise, the president was pumping up a little-notice bill that shores up workers' pension funds. It was passed late last year, but Mr. Clinton is grasping at any opportunity to tell Americans the Republicans aren't the only ones looking out for them.
It says that people who act responsibly should be rewarded.
Carefully orchestrated appearances, no questions answered, are just part of the presidential reconstruction plan. But another part is proving trickier to solve, filling important job vacancies. Mr. Clinton has been dogged by his own indecision and by turndowns. There's CIA Director, former head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Admiral William Crowell, and Deputy Defense Secretary John Deutsch have both said no thanks. Surgeon General, a replacement needed for Joycelyn Elders, and at least 4 key openings on the White House staff. One senator says job candidates are scared off in the new atmosphere of intense congressional and public scrutiny.
A lot of people don't feel that the prize is worth the price. So therefore, when the president reaches out to fill key jobs, people say, I'll be a friend, I'll be an advisor, but I don't want an appointment.
Meanwhile, the White House was accentuating the positive today on the eve of the president's second anniversary in office. They put out this long list of presidential accomplishments, and the official line here is that it's not the president's performance that needs improving, but his public relations operation. Rita Braver, CBS News at the White House.
The government reports a still surging U.S. economy helped generate record-high exports in November, but imports were even higher, driving up the U.S. trade deficit another $10.5 billion. In Michigan, a strike at a General Motors auto parts plant is beginning to have a ripple effect. A GM truck assembly plant had to shut down for lack of parts. Other GM plants could be forced to close early next week.
Hold it. This isn't you, it's an older guy.
Oh, that was before I got rid of my gray hair with Just for Men hair color.
Come on, that's too natural to be hair coloring.
Just for Men. Apply and in 5 minutes rinse. Gray is blended away for a totally natural look.
Think it'll work for me?
In 5 minutes.
Just for Men looks too natural to be hair coloring. And now try Just for Men Color Gel for the hard-to-color hair of mustaches and beards. Brush in, rinse out. Just 5 minutes.
You know what I hate? Pain. That's why I love Aspercreme. When I get mine on muscle aches, I just rub it in for fast relief that lasts for hours. And it's odor-free. Why live with pain? You're gonna love it. Aspercreme does not contain aspirin.
Just put Velveeta into a bowl. Pour on the salsa till you lose control. Make it hot, and then you got goodness gracious, great bowls of fire. Velveeta and salsa.
Hey, it's the new year. And didn't you make a promise? That's right, you were gonna start eating better. Well, Total is going to help you keep that promise, because a full serving of Total has what you're looking for every day. 100% of the daily value of 11 vitamins and minerals. And here's a great deal. We'll send you 5 free samples when you call 1-800-95-TOTAL. So go ahead and pick up the phone. That's right. We'll take care of the first 5 days. The rest of your life is up to you.
Tonight, Eye to Eye. He was a Marine in Moscow. She was the KGB's bait. A spy story with an astonishing ending.
I still love him.
Eye to Eye, tonight.
And then, what can you do when your children won't behave?
That's going to be a spanking.
48 Hours shows you what works tonight.
Boris Yeltsin said today the military phase of the Chechen campaign is over, but the Muslim rebels do not agree. Russian troops drove the last rebels out of the presidential palace in Grozny, blasted by weeks of shelling. The palace had been a symbol of resistance, but the rebels say they will fight on in the back streets and the mountains.
In this country, FBI agents of Hispanic heritage who sued the Bureau for Discrimination and won are taking the FBI back to court. As correspondent Scott Pelley reports tonight, the agents say discrimination against them is worse than ever, despite their court victory and because of it.
Since 1988, the FBI has been under a court order to end discrimination against Hispanic agents. But now, some of those agents are back in federal court, charging the Bureau as retaliating against them for bringing the landmark suit.
Various excuses have been given, and they are that excuses. Retaliation continues. In fact, things are getting worse.
In '88, a judge found that the FBI did discriminate and ordered changes in hiring and promotion. But now, 6 years later, 3 agents who participated in that suit say the FBI is out for revenge. In El Paso federal court, the agents claim that rather than finding new opportunities, they've been blackballed.
What specifically do you mean by retaliation?
Well, what that means is that our clients are being excluded in the workplace. They're non-persons in the workplace. They can't advance any longer. They stood up, told the truth, and now they're suffering the consequences of their employer's wrath.
Their lawyers say one agent lost his SWAT team job even though he's a champion marksman. Another was the target of 6 internal affairs investigations, only one of which resulted in a minor suspension. Recently at headquarters, top jobs have gone to minorities, but new FBI Director Louis Freeh says there are still problems.
Problems with respect to promoting into the mid-level ranks minorities and women. But that problem, I'm comfortable, is being corrected, but we're not there yet.
Lawyers for the FBI argued that the agents who brought the complaint have not been worthy of promotion.
The FBI had not retaliated against these agents, and we hope the judge will come to the same conclusion.
If the judge finds contempt, he could order changes in Bureau policy or send FBI supervisors to jail. A ruling is expected next month. Scott Pelley, CBS News, El Paso.
If you need a reminder that it's winter, take a look at this. A major winter storm dumped heavy snow on the Midwest and the Central Plains, more than a foot of it in some places. By the time the wind gets done blowing the snow around, drifts could be as high as 4 feet.
I could have danced all night. It seems like yesterday that I introduced that song, and it's still going strong. And despite the arthritis that runs in my family, so am I. Arthritis is why I'm here, to talk to you about something I believe in, the Arthritis Foundation. Their goal is to find a cure, but until they do, they've helped to create new Arthritis Foundation pain relievers. 4 proven, powerful medicines for pain relief you can really count on, from nighttime discomfort to the pain of inflammation. They're great value, and part of our purchase price goes to research to help find a cure. So we're helping others as we help ourselves. New Arthritis Foundation pain relievers, for relief you can count on until we find a cure.
My son is bringing his lady friend for dinner, and I've got such gas. So I take my Lanta gas relief gel caps with the best and only medicine for gas relief and an advanced gel cap. So who calls to cancel? They should both get gas.
I'm 62. Can I still help prevent osteoporosis?
It's never too late to help prevent osteoporosis with Caltrate.
I'm over 40. Can calcium help me?
It's never too late for Caltrate. New Caltrate Plus is uniquely formulated with 20% more calcium per tablet than any leading brand. And only Caltrate Plus has 6 added nutrients essential for healthy bones. So whatever your age,
It's never too late for Caltrate.
Does your scalp itch so bad you wish you could shampoo anytime? Try Scalpicin, a clear liquid you can use anytime and don't wash away like shampoo. It has the medicine chosen by dermatologists as most effective for deep scalp itch.
Scalpicin, stop that itch.
Their eggs and Egg Beater's eggs both come from the same place. The biggest difference is while theirs has fat, Egg Beater's has no fat. Of course, we didn't short you on the taste. Egg Beater's, we're good eggs.
Mr. Bono goes to Washington.
Hey, how you doing?
No, how are you doing, Congressman? A reality check tomorrow on the CBS Evening News.
The House historian hired and quickly fired by her friend and mentor Newt Gingrich is not ready to fade into history, at least not until she's sure the record, as she sees it, is historically accurate. In a CBS News exclusive, Christina Jeffrey tells her side of the story to correspondent Bob McNamara in tonight's Eye on America.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker.
For people from outside the system, the Capitol can quickly prove a dark and tangled place.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
We are not going to be run out of town on a rail. You have to clear your name.
Fired House historian Christina Jeffrey may be out of work and out of the loop.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome.
But she is going on the circuit.
Hi.
No longer fighting for her job, she says she is staying here to fight full-time for her reputation.
The expectation is that you will slink back to whatever slimy place you came from. And I'm not really inclined to let people do that to me.
The House will be in order.
Until last week, Jeffrey was part of Newt Gingrich's new order, moving here from Georgia with her family.
We are a middle-class family. We actually had to borrow money for the move. We packed up our own U-Haul. We drove up here at night.
But before they could unpack, Jeffrey lost her job, shot down publicly in a Capitol Hill firefight.
How could that person have been hired?
Derided as a bad appointment.
The people deserve better.
A bad person.
There are many questions.
A professor with a frightening and ugly agenda.
Ms. Jeffrey feels that the Nazis and the Ku Klux Klan don't get to tell their side of the story to our children in their history classes.
Most people get fired to their face.
She was fired by Newt Gingrich in a midnight phone call.
You say, I'm going to wake up, this is going to be a bad dream. I mean, it's impossible.
It is a recurring Washington nightmare for Christina Jeffrey that springs from a government grant review she wrote 9 years ago. Asked to critique a course study on the Holocaust, she suggested that students learn something about the Nazi point of view. And she's been explaining that ever since.
I am an academic who believes in liberty, hates tyranny, hates any kind of hatred, and I just, am appalled at being associated with those kinds of groups.
Until a few weeks ago, Jeffrey taught at Georgia's Kennesaw State College. You don't think she's anti-Semitic?
No. When I had her in class, she was probably one of the most open professors. She listened to everybody's opinion.
Here, students think Jeffrey has been treated unfairly.
I would absolutely hate to be in her shoes.
And her empty office now teaches a real-life lesson in politics.
Of course, there are a lot of victims in political wars, and it looks like she has been added to the list.
Today, Christina Jeffrey is working at home on a book.
It was all an evil, wicked game that they play in Washington called Get the New Appointee.
As people, the Jeffreys say they are hurt. As political scientists, they say they are worried.
This kind of combat, this kind of politics is not helpful to either of the two parties.
But it's become part of the process. Endless political street theater. Watching the Washington spotlight build up and then burn anyone who comes too close. In Washington, Bob McNamara for Eye on America.
For every unbearable chill, for every wrenching cough, every fever, every ache, every miserable congestion, it's got to be Theraflu every time. From your bad cold to your worst flu, Maximum Strength Theraflu delivers serious relief in soothing hot liquid or new non-drowsy caplets. When it's not just a cold, it's got to be Theraflu. Hot liquid or new non-drowsy caplets.
When we ask people to guess the name of our special line of cereals from Kellogg's.
I got it. Mega Flake Pleasers. Sweet Honey Bonanza.
No matter which delicious kind they tried, no one guessed they were a healthy choice.
I love this stuff.
Maybe they were surprised by so much baked-in flavor. Whole grains touched with honey, cinnamon, or brown sugar. Okay. Healthy choice cereals from Kellogg's.
Healthy choice. Fine. It really doesn't matter what it's called. The taste will sell it.
When I was a kid, Mom was always after me to eat right.
And that's what mothers do.
Now I'm looking out for her with Ensure. More than a vitamin supplement, Ensure is a delicious drink with all the nutrients adults need to help stay healthy, active, be energetic.
Drink Ensure as a meal.
Or in between.
You know, dear, Ensure is even recommended #1 by doctors as a source of complete, balanced nutrition.
Ensure. To your health, Mom.
Our health, dear.
Stories to share forever are coming.
She's like, no, it's fine. She's like, got a tree in her arms.
A trip to be remembered.
I'll say.
The perfect dessert is coming.
Services from the heart.
Above and beyond is coming.
You know, it's magic for me. I had a connection with all those people.
Memories are coming.
Every night's a different show. It's amazing.
You've got some Royal Caribbean coming.
And finally tonight, attention Mr. Guinness and Mr. Ripley. For the record, believe it or not, a woman in New Orleans has given birth twice in 3 months. Correspondent Vicki Mabry has the story.
Babies Timothy and Celeste Keys will have a lot of explaining to do through their lives, born 3 months apart in different years, and yet they're twins.
God gave us 2 children with a spectacular story, and I thank him.
When their mother Simone went into labor last October, 15 weeks early, she didn't believe it.
My teacher at high school and all of my students told me I was in labor. I just told them I was feeling terrible.
4 days later, Timothy was born at 1 pound 14 ounces with many complications.
You know, you go home and you pray, Lord, our baby got a hole in the heart, what you gonna do? We come back, he had 2 holes.
As doctors treated Timothy, they did everything they could to bring his sister to full term. Drugs, a surgical procedure, even turning his mother nearly upside down for 2 days. Then mother and father went home to wait.
Even if we would have kept the baby in only a day or 2 more, it would have probably been advantageous.
But it wasn't a day or 2. Celeste came to full term and was born 95 days after her brother.
Without being too preachy, I am a minister. I give all glory to God. Without God, none of this would be possible.
Baby Celeste came in at 5 pounds 15 ounces. She's doing fine. Brother Timothy now is 5 pounds 2 ounces. He's more at risk for long-term problems than his new sister, with whom he shares a birthright and a place in the record books. Vicki Mabry, CBS News, Dallas.
And that's our news. Tonight on Eye to Eye, a U.S. Marine in Moscow falls in love, but she is KGB bait, and he winds up in Leavenworth. Join us for Eye to Eye tonight at 9, 8 Central Time.
Then 48 hours, keeping your children in line. Where do you draw the line? 48 hours, discipline. When is it too much? That's tonight at 10, 9 Central Time. See you then, and again tomorrow here on the CBS Evening News.
Good night.
Experience CBS News.
This is CBS.